As you can see here, I have the Twigs bag. Twigs Coffee Roasters. Yes, indeed. There's a method to my madness, though. There's something in this bag, and it's a cute little segment I think I'm going to start doing. We might change up the bag depending on, the season or whatever. But in this bag, I have all kinds of different little questions. And so, they're kind of like this. And I'm going to get every guest to reach in there and choose a question at the end of our little chat because they're kind of fun. I don't know. Hopefully they're not too personal because it could go wrong very quickly. But, this isn't live. So Ben can cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but no, there's some fun questions. And I think it's just cool to, just learn a little bit about our guests. So, speaking of guests, we have a power couple. Yes, that's right. You heard me. The power couple, Geoff and Tracy Richardson. I learned so much about them on this podcast because I made a list today about what I was going to talk to them about, all of their community involvement, because they are involved and have been involved over the years in many, many different things. They've been on boards, they've been on committees, they volunteer, they are now they've been doing the Santa Fund for the past couple of years. We talk about that. But I've also learned that they created other charities that I had no idea. It's like, when do these people sleep? I don't know. Get ready, because we're going to talk to Geoff and Tracy in just a minute. But I do have to thank our show sponsor, Twigs Coffee Roasters. I'm Lisa Boivin, and this is To North Bay with Love.
North Bay Echo is proud to partner with Twigs Coffee Roasters, a part of the community since 1995. Twigs offers a wide selection of quality beans, fresh roasted in-house every day. Find your favorite specialty drinks at our espresso bar, rejuvenate with freshly squeezed juice, or treat yourself to mouth-watering selections from our gourmet deli. And don't forget our irresistible fresh baked goods, including uncompromising gluten-free options. Twigs has 5 locations to serve you, from North Bay to Sturgeon Falls to Sudbury. Order online for pickup at twigs.ca. And coming soon, you'll be able to order fresh roasted coffee beans direct to your doorstep from our distribution center in North Bay.
Here we are. Would you like to apologize to the people watching here because of your appearances?
Yes. I'm sorry I look this way. I thought it was a
I'm sorry
podcast.
Lisa looks this way.
And Geoff is now out of the podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. Pretty
You're
easy.
done.
Cut the pretty one
You
out.
look fabulous. You always look fabulous.
Oh, it's very nice of you to
Do you
say.
think we've
You have to
aged?
say that.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we've known each other a long time.
We have.
A little bit. A minute.
We have a funny story just before we get into everything that you do in the community.
Why?
About how we met. Who was I telling this to the other? I think it was Tracy. Might have been Tracy Halsey.
Yeah.
From London. Yeah, I think it was because the Guild did the Laramie Project in like 2002?
Yes.
3?
Something like that.
Early, like a long time ago. And it was a cast of, 45. And we were in the cast. And this is, I'm going to tell my perspective. Maybe
Do it.
But we were rehearsing a lot at Rock Street, the Rock Street Connect building on Rock Street. And we'd get there and, everybody was milling around. And throughout all the rehearsals, I kept looking over at you. And you'd look at me and I'd look at you. And I didn't think we'd meet.
The same.
Like we have met.
I thought,
yeah.
Have we met in a past life? I genuinely thought that for a minute.
For real. I was like, her face is so familiar to me. Yeah. This is bizarre. But I've never met her. So again, and then I think it was you, I'm sure it was you, who came over at one point and you were like,
I did.
You were like, okay, we have to figure this out.
Yes.
And I was like, get away from me. No. And then so we figured out what was cool is, okay, what was your campus called though? So I was at Sheridan in Oakville for music theater.
And I was I was at Arundel campus for U of T.
Right.
But they did a concurrent program. So I was also going to Sheridan a couple of times a week for theater, not musical theater. So we wouldn't necessarily always see each other, not in the same space, but we were always crossing paths.
All the time. But did you guys use the dance studios?
Yes.
That's why I think, because we figured out it was the dance studio down there. We must have seen each other down in the bowels of
Sheridan
somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, hey, buddy.
And JP. I knew JP too.
And JP.
I knew that the two of you were like besties.
That's right.
Once I figured out who you were.
Little gypsters.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yep.
And now here you are on the podcast.
Here we are. Full circle.
Okay, are you guys both from North Bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. And why'd you stay? Because a lot of people who are born, they're born in a town, in a city, and then they're like, I can't wait to get the hell out.
Yep.
But y'all stayed.
Well, we left, right? We did leave. We went to school. We were gone for 4 years. And then we stayed gone for another year. And then we came back to North Bay.
Pourquoi?
A little bit of homesickness.
Yeah.
A little bit of, I wanted to do teacher's college.
Right.
As well.
And Nipissing?
Yep.
Okay.
At NIP.
And I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I knew I wanted to go to like post-secondary school after university.
Yep.
I didn't end up doing that, but it felt good being back home. It felt good to be able to explore North Bay as more of an adult, looking for something to do professionally. And then had a couple jobs. I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car for a while and met a lot of people through that network. And then I went and sold cars for about 3 or 4 months at Stockfish Ford. So they were kind enough to give me a job there. That was actually before Enterprise. And then I got into properties after that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's huge. Sorry, my it is on vibrate. Oh, look.
Hello?
Sally?
Yes.
You're live on the podcast right now with Geoff and Tracy Richardson.
Hello, Sal.
Hi, Sal. Go Reps.
Oh my God. What do
She
you
couldn't
mean
get.
live?
She didn't get enough of us since last week.
Yeah.
You know?
I said you're live. You're on speakerphone.
Don't swear.
Or do.
No, I'm not swearing. I got my drugs.
Okay. And with that, we'll
Perfect.
say goodbye to you, Sal, and we'll talk to you later.
No, that's
Okay.
why it's taken me so long. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll call you later. You'll call me.
Okay.
And Dave and I are going to come to the Friday night show.
Oh, good.
Can you get tickets ahead? Can I buy them ahead?
Yeah, I can arrange all that for you, Sal.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Well, that's all staying in.
Any follow-up questions, Sal?
Yeah. Anything? What would you like to? Wow,
That's funny.
That's funny. There's Sal. That's Sal. Okay. So the thing is, like you two, since I've known you guys, you've always been, in my eyes, you've always been really active in the community. Why is that? Like, why? Because not everybody does that. They can live in a city and never join a board. They can never be part of a group. They can never go out and do extracurricular activities. They can just stick to themselves, go to a gym, come home, make dinner, and, go to work and live a life. But you guys have really immersed yourself. Like, I just wrote the Santa Fund, which I think is a new venture for you guys.
Yeah.
Which we can talk a little bit about.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you start that and why did you
The
get
year
involved?
of COVID, we started it.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, we took
Great time to
over
join.
from Lachlan McLaughlin and Scott Clark.
So
as the
how long,
co-hosts.
how long was the Santa Fund like all together? Like going? Like how long?
77 years.
It's
Oh,
77
shoot.
years this year,
77
yeah.
years,
So
yeah.
it was 73 when we joined.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the longest fundraiser in North Bay ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that
Yeah.
old or long.
Yep.
I don't know how you describe a
Yep.
thing, but okay.
It survived for 77 years.
And what exactly does the Santa Fund do? Because I mean, I know the name of it, but I don't know if I know exactly how it works or like how you fundraise or what.
So I can tell you a little bit of the history.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there.
Okay.
So it started 77 years ago. The Santa Fund was created by Art Haley, who was the fire chief of North Bay at the time. Sam Jacks, who's the director of, he was the director of Parks and Rec, and then also a local businessman, Ed Dewey. And they saw that there were 10 families in need. And so they decided that they were going to gather toys from people who wanted to donate. And they could be used toys, and they cleaned them up, fixed them up, gathered groceries, literally used apple baskets, 10 apple baskets. And I believe they used the old Dr. McDougall school to put these baskets together and then sent them out. So the first year it was 10 families, and then the next year it was 25 families. So it just grew and grew and grew from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so people would just, how did they put it out to people like back then? I mean, I guess they were they like.
Pigeons. They sent pigeons with messages in them.
geese, pigeons, and owls, like in Harry Potter.
I think it was word of mouth.
But it was just word of mouth, yeah.
And the nugget. And, all that.
And how would they find out about the families? Because like that's the thing, right? It's like you know, you're not certainly going to like advertise that you need help. I think a lot of families who do probably are, you know, they're proud and they don't want to maybe ask for help, or they don't, you know, they feel bad asking for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's something that we need to ask Lachlan McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Because he knows a lot about how it all began.
Okay.
That is a fantastic question. I do think it was most likely they knew people in need, or, you know, like the fire chief, he probably heard about a family who had, there was a fire, whatever the case may be. So I think it was word of mouth.
For sure.
But I'm not 100% sure. I know now, though, it's confidential.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you can kind of anonymously,
Of course.
come and bring people's names forward and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And what do you do with the Santa Fund, Geoff?
Well, I have a lot of fun with my wife, Tracy, getting this all organized. Basically, it's about kind of gathering a good team, you know?
Yeah.
And we were brought in to shadow Scott and Locke 2020, so it was very different. It was at Memorial Gardens. The City of North Bay donated their space for us to be able to use it.
Okay.
But it was crazy. Like, it was pandemonium. There were bags of toys everywhere. There was food everywhere, and we had to organize everything, stack everything, and make sure it worked out well. And at that time, we had to have, you know, pre-cleared people to deliver, pre-cleared volunteers, etc.
Yeah.
So that was a bit odd. You know, back then, we just did what we had to do to get the help out to families. And I think that year we had about 600 families on the list that needed assistance that year. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, wait, Memorial Gardens. So you're telling me, like, you guys were on the ice in Memorial Gardens, and it was
the
you
ice
were
was
putting
closed
it together?
off. So we just used the sides,
Okay,
like the
but
hallways,
still,
which
I mean,
were wide and long, but it was still challenging.
And how many people were there putting everything together? Like, how many? These were all volunteers?
Well, yes, it was. Yes, there were volunteers, but not half as many as we have now.
Oh, okay.
And before, because of COVID.
Right.
So people had to sign in, had to sign out. You were constantly cleaning. So let's say there were, from the beginning to the end, 55, 60 volunteers that did everything.
Wow.
I think the magic of the Santa Fund in North Bay is the fact that we really do rely on as many volunteers to come out as possible. And even if you just pack one hamper, you're still getting that experience. You can bring your family with you and get that, you know, get that 10, 15 minutes to really spend time with people that are doing a good thing. You know, so I think it's really important to get as many community members out as possible to really just experience that, and also to teach kids in our community about you know, the fact that, you know, not everyone is as lucky as they are. Not everyone has food in the fridge. Not everyone has a turkey dinner with toys. Like that's something that for a lot of people in North Bay is something that they just can't attain. They can't get it for whatever reason. You know, like, you know, losing a job or an injury or something. Tragedy or a fire or something like that, and it's really fulfilling to be able to lead with the committee and with the board and with the volunteers that always show up. But I mean, we lead a real effort that helps a lot of people in North Bay. I mean, this year I think there were probably about 2,000 people that we helped altogether, and that's basically delivering an 80-pound hamper of food, turkey, toys for each kid. You know, Lana over at Lippy does a great job in terms of figuring out. She's really the beating
Lana
heart.
Mitchell is the angel of
really
the Santa Fund.
Because she figures out kind of like for each family, like if there's a boy, if there's a girl, what they're into and all that. Wow,
they have to go through, find out the sex, the age, what they like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Any specifics, whether, you know, maybe this child is exceptional, so needs like different types of toys, sensory toys.
Right.
Like she's really good at what she does. And it's not just toys, like they collect toiletries, pajamas.
Everyone gets PJs,
and food too. I guess she'd have to know about any allergies or anything like that.
So we do work on that. Like if there's any allergies listed, but a lot of what we put together dietarily anyway is pretty basic.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean there are allergies out there. We also provide a gift card that varies in value. But this year I think it was $40 for perishable items. So that's usually where allergies come into play, right? So we make sure that they can buy, you know, eggs, milk, all that good stuff, and then the turkey. We also give them a tin pan basically to cook everything in. So if you don't have any cookware at home, there's no problem.
Even foil. We get all of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
The motto has always been no family without food and no children without toys.
Okay.
That's I think what the vision has been right from the start.
Yeah.
And that's what we've really tried to bring forth and tried to evolve it a little bit in certain ways, tweak it a little bit, because every single cent that we raise, like this year we raised $175,000, which is amazing. The city of North Bay was very, very generous this year. And every single cent goes into those hampers. Nothing gets spent on any volunteer's time or anything whatsoever. There's no administration. There's no costs like that that kind of take up a lot of those donations. It's a pure charity, and it's a great way to help your fellow person in North Bay.
Going down the list here, the DIA.
Yeah,
That was a while ago.
it was. Yeah, it was.
How did that start or end? Or what happened there?
So my brother Tom and I had a couple buildings downtown for years. So we had the old Belmont Hotel, or the Winnipeg, or the King George, depending on who you ask.
Is that where Chip started his
Yes.
business in the basement?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Keen's Canine started
Keen's
right
Canines,
down
absolutely,
there.
yeah.
It was a great building, interesting area.
Yeah, no
But,
doubt.
you know,
very lively.
Yeah, very lively, very colorful.
And it was last called the Cornerstone, still is. And then we owned the old Ricci vending building next to it with Three Fires Karate in it.
Oh,
and,
yes, yeah.
Now there's an awesome bike shop in there, and the Pottery Guild was there.
Yep.
So we were spending all our time downtown, and there were a lot of struggles downtown. You know, it was really starting to require a little more involvement amongst the merchants, property owners that were down there. And I decided that instead of worrying about all the issues and not knowing what to do, to get involved. So I got involved with Bob Alger. Jeff Saran was the executive director at the time. Great guy. Bob was the chair, and then there was like Peter Hobbs and Barry Kluss and a bunch of other people that really, really cared about downtown and wanted to see it thrive. And it was a big hill to climb because there were lots of challenges ahead of us, and we didn't change everything overnight, but we certainly worked really hard and made sure that our marketing was coordinated. There were a lot of events that were thrown, like car shows, and the Christmas walk was something that the DIA always does and has been continued on really, really well. And there's just been, I guess, countless events really over the 8 years that we were involved in and promoting and executing. There was a beautification committee which focused on lighting and Christmas decorations and flowers and things like that. And then eventually cameras, which was great. And I know Barry Kluss was very, very influential and important in getting the parking app going downtown and lobbying the city for free parking and making sure that shoppers felt welcome there. And we were always on them about the snowbanks that were all piling up on the snow. Like, they hated it when they had to meet with the DIA because we had some valid concerns that they just couldn't ignore.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So, but to their credit, they really did listen to what we said, and they really did try to make downtown a better place according to what our members told us that they needed from the city. We also started the pilot project for the patio. The outdoor patios.
Yes.
So that was first
Huge.
done
through
the DA while we were there, or while I was there. And it just kind of became something that, for me anyway, it was not disinteresting at all. There was still a lot of challenges for sure, but at that time we had taken over ownership of the Voyager, and that was really just dominating our lives.
Huge.
So,
Huge. Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure that we left it in good stead, and that I had the time to devote to really make or break up at the Voyager, because it was serious business for sure. Not that we didn't have enough time going on downtown, but we eventually transitioned from ownership down there, so we sold those two buildings and then focused on the Voyager full time. And but the DIA was a great experience. It was a lot of great people that we worked with. Michelle Trudeau, she's amazing. I mean, there's people that pop up in my head every now and then, and I just think back to the great times that we shared and the real changes that we made in downtown.
Yeah.
And the board now is just really has picked up from where we left off years ago, and they're excellent. They really helped all the business owners in North Bay downtown navigate the Big Dig project, and they were essential in communication with the city of North Bay, the construction company, and all the downtown merchants. So they really did a banging job with that. was great.
Is that Main Street?
Yeah, Main Street when they were
awesome.
the big dig basically is something that had been planned for years and years and years, and the interlock was just falling apart.
I know.
It's almost done now, but it looks so much better than it did.
It looks really nice. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break from Geoff and Tracy because we need to thank one of our very, very good sponsors. That is Source for Sports. So when you go into Source for Sports for anything to do with sports, because they don't just have sports equipment, but they have all kinds of things that the community might need, from team uniforms, apparel, fan gear, and a huge top-of-the-line selection of equipment. But they also have expertise, because the people who work at Source for Sports also play sports. So they know what you might need for hockey or for volleyball or for skating, figure skating or hockey. So they are experts and they know what they're talking about. They will guide you in the right direction to make a really, really good selection on what you need for all your sports needs. And not only are they experts at what they do, but they are huge advocates for local sports and the community, that being on a sports team or just getting involved in sports in any way, whether you're coaching or whether you're on a field or on the ice, they just love that community feeling that sports bring to North Bay. So if you need anything to do with sports, head over and talk to Paul and his team. They're at 1321 Fisher Street, Source for Sports.
It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota. Attention truck lovers. Have you been Tundra struck? The powerful and dependable Toyota Tundra is the new definition of grit. Ask us about amazing lease deals on a 2025 Tundra Double Cap SR 4-wheel drive and experience ingenious levels of capability, technology, and refinement. Or maybe you're an SUV lover? Take advantage of a limited shipment of 2025 RAV4s and discover the perfect blend of style, comfort, and efficiency in a compact SUV that ignites your desire to explore. Right now, get excellent lease deals on the Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive and more. It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota, 640 McEwen, or online at northbaytoyota.com for details.
I have to say that you guys are a real power couple in this town. No, you are. You've been doing this for years, and you guys are such a power couple to instigate those things, because those things don't happen just out of the blue. You need somebody to kind of take the helm or say, hey, let's do this fundraiser. I have an idea. Let's do this. I'm going to talk to this person. I have contacts. And it's like every time, like you were talking about, having that building downtown, it's like you just make contact after contact after, and that's how you grow your community. That's how you really get to know who's here, and you'll never be friendless. Like you'll always have a friend, and you'll always have somebody to help you out, and it's that humility and just that.
I
realness,
think that's the best. I think that's the best part, because you only have to get involved in one thing.
Yeah.
Because then there's always a few other people around. You get to know them, build a rapport, and then the next time, then they ask you to be involved in something, or you see something, and then you go, "Oh, I know the right person for that." And it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to get involved in things when you just get involved in one thing. You only have to do one, even just one.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes all sorts of skill levels to do this. There's people that may not know how to organize, or may not understand how to fundraise or whatever. But there's certainly people that can greet people at the door as they come in, or help with packing, or even just share, on Facebook. Like there's so many easy ways for people to help, and some more difficult ways for people to help.
Yeah.
And we just find ourselves surrounded by people with a variety of skill sets that just really get the same out of it that we do.
Yeah.
And it's like, it sounds stupid to say, it kind of violates what I'm about to say, but we're modest people, and we don't like to be the focus of attention.
No.
We would rather us be anonymous, to be honest with you, and just have the efforts speak for themselves, and just do what we can from behind the scenes, and when necessary, for sure, we can speak to the media, we can do these interviews, we can do whatever it takes to help, but ultimately it's never about us. It's about what we do and who we work with and who we can help.
See, and that's why I love you guys so much. No, for reals, because that humility is a beautiful thing, and because you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're doing it because you genuinely, want to help people and you just have a giving heart. You have those giving hearts that just really give back to your community. And I love it.
Well, thank you, Lisa.
I love it. No, I really do. I really respect you guys. And I always have, since we met doing theater. And it's funny, because I had Sal in here on the podcast and, she moved to North Bay after leaving Timmins, where she had been for most of her career, and kind of left my dad and was thinking, where am I going to go? How do I do this? And she was in her 50s, and it's like you're starting over in a new city. So she ended up coming to North Bay, and but she got involved through me, really, because I was here doing the Nipissing Stage Company, but Eileen Levasseur, who was part of Nipissing Stage and then part of the Guild and stuff, she called my mom up one day and said, hey, do you want to do some box office stuff with me? Sal didn't know. She had no idea. She didn't know. She just kind of said, okay. And away you go. And then she was on the board of the Guild for years and, producing shows. And so it's exactly what you said.
Same thing. Yeah.
6-1 yes.
It's that thing. It's like one little thing. You're like, yes, just say yes. Yep. Just say yes and go out and try it. Might not be for you, but maybe you're going to find not only you're giving back to the community and you love what you're doing, but maybe you're going to find some friends. Maybe you're going to find a whole community of people that now, those are your peeps.
Yeah.
Your tribe.
That's the benefit.
Yeah, man.
That's the personal benefit.
Yeah.
To get to meet people and
yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys have done theater here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
That's
I mean,
super
it's
fun.
easy because you love it.
I know.
Right? Who
Yeah, you
doesn't
totally
love
love
theater?
it. And then, speaking of theater, the costumes, because this is now a new venture for you.
Yes. Well,
Alter ego.
relatively new. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was the name of the lady who had them before you?
Her name was Colette.
Okay,
I
yes,
don't know her
Colette.
last name. Her name was
I think
Colette.
everybody just knew her as Colette,
Everybody
the
knew her
costume
the
lady.
costume lady.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So she wanted to retire because her grandkids were she started getting grandkids and they were all in Ottawa.
Yeah.
So she did not want to upkeep all of these costumes anymore. And I said, if you ever want to sell those costumes.
We're doing nothing. I sit on my couch all day with my 80 things I'm doing, but you said, let's do it.
I actually told her that 5 years before COVID.
Oh.
Because we used to go there all the time for costumes and we'd send the staff there for costumes at Halloween.
Okay.
So it was like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, if you're ever selling, she just rolled her eyes, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, COVID hit.
Uh-huh.
And she called me.
No way.
And I said, yes, please.
Okay, these
Yes.
costumes, though, people need to know. Shout out to Alter Ego. Go online right now. Go to this website. Because these are not rinky-dink costumes.
No,
these
they're
are
pretty
Stratford, Disney World level
They're pretty
costumes.
solid. They're pretty solid costumes. Now, it's not Disney World as in big mascot, big heads.
You're not
because
Barney walking around. Yeah.
There's no room.
Right.
We won't talk about how much room I take up of the house. I'm so
No, we
sorry.
won't.
And it's a little bit freaky too, because you got the mannequins. You got the mannequins in there, and
Brad
I
and Betty,
house sat for you back in September there, and I remember coming down a few times in the dark, and I was like, oh, okay.
Did you just shut the door?
Why are you staring at me? You're not even dressed, and I don't know you, so please turn around. You're a little bit freaky, but anyways, yeah. There's lots of stuff going. There's lots of all kinds of different eras, different styles, different it's
I have
crazy.
600 costumes on top of pieces, other pieces and stuff. I can't even put them all on my website or all on Facebook. I can't there's just so much.
Yeah.
So it's better if people call me. I mean, of course you can go on the website.
Sure.
Because I only have one elf costume, as in Buddy the Elf. So if you're an extra small person, no, you're not going to fit into it.
Right.
And if you're a XXX
Yeah.
size, then you're not going to. So unfortunately, that's the one thing about the costumes is they're pretty unique. So you just have to go on the search and search your size and see what's available.
Yeah. But and it's fun too because you have so many different pieces too, right?
Yeah.
So you may have my uncle had a big party in the summer and it was 70s themed. And so I was like, oh, I went on your website, picked a few of the outfits, tried them on. And I was like, and they're to my knees. No, thank you. I was like, what? So anyways, they're all too small, way too small for me. But I said, well, wait a minute. I have bell-bottom jeans at home, and I'll just wear a funky T-shirt. And I got the best wig from you. This huge afro, black afros, crazy hair.
Yeah, it was
wig.
awesome.
And that that was the whole costume. I showed up, and everybody was like, oh my God,
You had
what the heck?
attitude.
I was like,
it was
yes, girl.
perfect.
So that's the other thing too, which is cool because you don't just have costumes, but you have all the accessories
all
and all
sorts
the
of props
hats
and stuff. Yeah, so if
jewelry.
anybody wants to have a party, a themed party, or a photo booth, they just call me. I have real sombreros.
Real
I have
heavy.
all sorts of everything, so they can just come, take it all away, have a good time with it.
And not just for Halloween, but you guys,
all sorts,
You guys do Halloween, I'm good.
Yeah, well,
like you never
it's
disappoint.
my favorite holiday, so.
Is it? I know,
Yes.
me too. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, okay, two of my favorites were when you guys were Beetlejuice and Lydia.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Really well done. And then the other one, I don't know what you were this year, but the year that you went from Ghostbusters, the girl who was are you Zool?
No,
when you went to Zool.
Yeah, was it Zool or Gozer?
Gozer.
I was Gozer. I know, I loved it. And that's
I don't know how you kept your wife that night because she was looking good in that costume. That's all I'm going to say.
Because
I was like,
dressed as Jesus. And every time she looked at me, she was
Jesus.
like feeling guilty. So it's perfect.
I love it. That was so good. And did you make that costume or did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I made that one. That's
Holy
before
frig.
I had Alter Ego.
Yeah.
So you can rent that now. But he rented the Jesus costume that I now own from Colette.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was Dorothy. For when one of my uncle's other themed party, he always has themed parties.
That's good.
So I was Dorothy and Chip was the Scarecrow and my mom was the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh my
And yeah, it
gosh.
was great. Yeah, and that's when we first found out about Colette.
Yeah.
We went over there and I was like, these are awesome costumes. Like this was
Lots
not,
of them.
the quality is pretty awesome. So cool.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks for shouting that out, Lise.
Oh, I didn't even ask what you're doing now with the pest control, with
That's
the
okay.
good riddance.
That's all right. No problem.
Well, you've helped me with the little mice
Yes.
in my house.
Yeah, no, it's actually really awesome to be able to provide a really good solution for people. And just like me, our company does what it says it's going to do, and we fix problems, and we make sure that people are happy and that they call us back.
Do you ever catch baby raccoons?
No, we
you
stay
do,
away from away from wildlife. We do
okay.
anything.
Okay,
we
it's
do
more just
mice and then pests. Like in the spring, we'll be very, very busy with spiders. A lot of people don't know that you can get people to spray your house for spiders, which we do all the time. It's really affordable and it works. It lasts for about 3 months.
I think
so
we can't
you won't
be
have
friends anymore.
Why? Oh, you like
I love
spiders?
spiders.
Do you?
They're my favorite.
Do you like them when they take over your backyard and you can't use your barbecue?
I wouldn't mind.
What if you had a husband that was arachnophobic?
That's okay. I'd have to get rid of them.
Just deal with it?
Yeah.
That's
You're like,
fair.
get out.
That's fair.
Honestly,
we do
I don't. If
offer
they're in my
that kind
house,
of
I
pest
don't
service.
hurt them.
It's
Yes.
after hours. It's my personal cell phone only. A lot of people are like, yeah, I got an app that I could do without, blah, blah, blah. Or yeah, how about this guy? I'm like, call me later. No problem.
Call me later. No problem. That's all
No problem.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in.
Did you want us to ask? Are you going to ask us a question?
Oh my God. What time is it? Do we have time?
We have like 2 minutes.
Okay. Quick. Here we go. Now, okay.
Oh, it's a random.
One of our sponsors is Twigs Coffee Roasters.
Oh, yeah, they're
and so
awesome.
these are fun little questions. So I don't know who wants to go first, but
I'll
they're
go
just
first just because I read it.
What is it? It's like fortune cookie time.
It says something you're awesome at, but you keep a secret.
Oh.
Some people know. You probably know, but I don't. I haven't talked about it in probably 5 years. I'm a pretty good belly dancer.
You are.
But I don't tell anybody that. It was never on my acting resume. I don't lead with that in auditions.
Girl.
I don't say that to anybody.
I still have one of
You
the
have your jingle bells?
Yes, I have it in my
Heck yeah.
basement. I just saw it the other day.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
There you go.
It is not easy.
That's
It's fantastic.
little
I love it.
secret.
Okay.
And my question was your dream vacation and what it means to you and why there. And I will say without being too corny, but honestly, it's wherever I'm with my lovely wife Tracy and wherever we can kind of like go on an adventure. I don't like to schedule anything. I like to just see what's out there and then just enjoy whatever comes up. Honestly, it's we don't like to plan too much. We just know where we're going to go. But in terms of what we do when we get there, it's always a crapshoot, and I love it.
I love that. Yeah. And you get to do it with your favorite person. Yeah.
That's it. That's true.
That's great. Yes. High five. Yes. So guys, I mean, it's not every day that I sit here at this desk and have people like this across from me. I think, I don't know if Geoff laughed a little bit, but they are a power couple. They are, because they're into so much. And like I said, they've been on so many committees and so many boards. And Geoff was very kind to say that, there's always a huge amount of support that comes to them when they, spearhead something. But that's what I meant, right? It's like they're the ones who are spearheading a lot of this stuff, which is fantastic. And those are the cheerleaders that we need and that we cherish in our community, because what they do is then kind of bring everybody else along. They ask people to join their team, and then beautiful things happen. So yeah, if you need a costume for anything, for reals, these costumes are like, they're bar none, they're awesome, they're amazing. And Geoff and Tracy, they do Halloween up big time. Like, they don't half-ass it, let me tell you. Like, they go hardcore. It's pretty awesome. Head over to our website, why don't you? northbayecho.ca. You can sign up for our newsletter. It'll be sent to your inbox every Wednesday morning, I believe now. And, it's had a little a redo in 2025. Just looking spiffy. Also, wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify or Apple or whether you watch this on YouTube, why don't you consider leaving us a like? Or maybe a comment, a question. Maybe you have somebody that you'd love to see on To North Bay with Love. We'd love to hear from you. So you can do that too. Until next time, much love, North Bay.